What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Exos trainer, here to answer all of your Q&A needs. Again, this Q&A is posted on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Marc Lobliner. It's the sticky post at the top. It is Q&A number 3 because I blasted through 2 of these already. So it comes from Matt Rohrman. Again, these are going to be out of order. I might take a while to look for them, but this one should be good. It's the first one on this one. Until you're able to make peak Physicor into a powder, am I able to crush up the pills and mix in water? Simply separate them, dump it in water, you're good to go. The only thing pills do is it's actually in a vegan cap, which is made of HPMC, hydroxypropylmethylcellulose, which is a polymer. It's basically all vegan, it's all safe, all whatever. And at the end of the day, it just gets through your esophagus, okay? So by putting in water, it's fine. Peak Physicor doesn't have that bad of a taste. It actually tastes a little bit earthy because the Pico 2 coming from the mushrooms, but overall Physicor is a very benign tasting product. So if you want to just mix it in, that's fine. We'll have a powder coming out for Australia shortly. From Rob Selg, hey Mark, just found you on YouTube. Great stuff. I realize everyone responds to things differently, but on a whole, what are your thoughts on feeder workouts? Good to bring up lagging body part or useless overtraining? I think it's useless for anyone. Doing a bunch of weights for high reps, feeding into your next day, I mean, that's just complete broness, complete bro logic, complete stupidity. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's pointless. If you're going to do something to burn calories, do a little bit of cardio, get some cardiovascular activity going on, do some low intensity cardio, do something, do some foam rolling, some pillar prep. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there's better ways to utilize your time. Masturbation's a good idea. But honestly, feeder workouts are just silly, in my opinion. Silly as fuck. From Jay Camel. Mark, you're a driven person. It's beyond infectious. I'm like herpes. When you think I'm gone, I just come back out of remission. MIL, which means running is a must. MIL, is that some military thing? I follow 5x5 strong lifts, not worried about maxing, but forming heavy enough. Off days, Tuesday, Thursday, I run a 5K and Sunday a 7 mile. My ultimate goal is to reduce BMI. I'm guessing that's for a purpose. You know, BMI is not really that great of a measurement of health. BMI is simply height and weight, and then it gives you a number. If you're above 30, you're obese. That's how BMI works. I just did an article on that on Tiger Fitness. Will doing 5x5 plus running in a reduced caloric diet be too conflicting? FYI, I suck at writing. You kind of do this all over the place, but I still love you. Anyway, that's a lot. I'm not sure. I actually like that because if you're doing an endurance type program, I want your weight training to be a power-based program. Like my daughter runs a lot through soccer, so if I'm training her, I'm gonna have her do her cardio on her own, but if I'm training her, I'm not gonna spend time with endurance activity. I'm gonna basically stimulate the power movements. I'm gonna stimulate squats and deadlifts and things like that. And then if I do cardio, I'm gonna do acceleration training. I'm gonna do Tabata, explosive movements, because what happens is if you do only low intensity cardio, your muscle fibers tend to become slow twitch. I want fast twitch as well. And for what you're doing, I'm guessing it's something with strength. I don't know what MIL is. Again, I don't research these questions first, but I do think that's the best way to maintain lean mass while attempting such an aggressive endurance-based training program. I actually don't mind that. I actually like what you're doing, bro. Being hypocaloric, that's going to be tough. You might lose some strength, obviously, but if you need to lose weight and get your BMI down for whatever purpose that is, that's one way to do it. Craig Mack, now keep in mind, BMI doesn't factor in lean body weight. So if you lose muscle, that's not a bad thing. If you lose muscle, that'll get you closer to BMI, where you need to be. Craig Mack, can mono and diglycerides used in some protein powders be derived or made in a way that they are not trans fats? I know they are used as emulsifiers, but can they ever be safe, or will they always be considered trans fats regardless of the processing? It can be processed differently. I wouldn't worry about it. It's in such a minutia, such a small amount. I wouldn't worry about it at all whatsoever. You can look for protein powders without mono and diglycerides. I could sit here and go on a rant about only taking MTS whey. But at the end of the day, I don't believe it's an issue. I don't believe you should concern yourself over such a small portion of things. If you eat Oreo cookies every day, maybe that's an issue. But let's not worry about, I'm not worried about trans fats. I'm not worried about whatever fats. I'm worried about the fact that you're microanalyzing this. And I think that could lead to some form of orthorexia, where you're just overly anal about what you put into your mouth, including anuses. Robert William, what are your thoughts on early morning training? I'm a poli-sci teacher, political science, varsity coach. I have a 2-year-old son. My only time to train is in the AM before I leave for school. I am up around 4 and train around 5. What advice as far as food and supplements do you have for someone training in the early AM? Thanks for taking time to answer these questions. I'm looking forward to the new Clash. Well, everybody is. The new Clash, I have word that it will be labeled next week on Wednesday. Not this week, but next week on Wednesday. So the week after. So we are still 2 weeks behind on that. And that's mainly because we're making really pretty labels. The product is already done. The product's already passed QC. The COAs have already been generated. We're just waiting on those labels. So nonetheless, I believe that you want something on your stomach. Now, if you're someone who trains better on carbs, I recommend a scoop of MTS Whey and a scoop of Carb 10 or a banana or something like that. I love bananas. I think bananas are great. Half fructose, half glucose, depending on its level of ripeness. Or one thing I do, since I only eat carbs post-workout and at bedtime, would be I would have protein, MTS Whey with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, which is 15 grams of fat. I think that'll give you the energy that you need to do, and I don't like training on an empty stomach. So eat that about 45 minutes pre-workout. Drink your pre-workout, your Clash or your Ruckus and Vasky, about 20 minutes pre-workout. Then drink Machine Fuel intra-workout. Post-workout, have MTS Machine Whey with Carb 10, and then have your breakfast about 45 minutes after that, and you should be good to go. From Ryan Brown, have you ever had high ALT, AST liver enzymes from blood work? I eat a healthy diet with 0 cheat meals. I do some sort of weightlifting and cardio every day. I don't drink or smoke, and I prepare every meal that I eat. Just want to know if you ever had high levels, what you did to correct it. This is anecdote. Don't call me a shill. Don't call me a piece of shit. Just take this as for what it's worth as my personal anecdote. I used to have high AST, ALT, slightly high. I used to have high bilirubin, and the doctor said it was genetic. They did ultrasounds. This is before I even started bodybuilding. This is when I was 19 years old. Okay, so what I did, I always had those. Always had high, slightly elevated AST, ALT, and then I had high bilirubin. Now, at the age of 30, I believe, I started taking 30 or 32. I started taking AI Sports Cycle Support. Cycle Support is a product that has many ingredients in it that help with liver health, kidney health, whatever. Since then, I have made Ambrosia Nectar, which is under the Ambrosia line, available at Tiger Fitness. Nectar is essentially Cycle Support, but 450 times better, and it tastes delicious. So since I have Nectar in my diet, my blood work comes back perfect every time. That's anecdote. That's empirical evidence. You could take it for what it's worth. Say, oh, you own the company. You either believe me or you don't. If you don't believe me, it is what it is. I'm just answering a question. I had that, but I also corrected. Now, keep in mind, my diets also includes more healthy fats now than it used to include. That could also be a factor. And I never miss a day of consuming fish oil. And I do more cardio than I've ever done. So those are also factors. From Jeffrey Burdick. Hey, Marc Lobliner, just wondering about rest periods between sets. I'm currently trying to drop body fat. Instead of resting the 60 to 90, I have the treadmill running at 3.7 on 5 incline. I do that for 60 90. I should be resting. Am I sacrificing gains? I think it's stupid. You know, I think that's pointless. I think you need to rest between sets because it's anaerobic, okay? You're not doing cardio. This isn't fucking jazzercise. You get in there, you weight train, okay? You know, active recovery, walking around maybe, stretching a little bit, that's fine. But actually going on the treadmill, that's silly. That's silly. So do your sets, do your weights and your reps, and then do cardio post-workout. That's it. I think that's stupid. That's just me, though. You're asking, this is all my opinion. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying that idea, to me, is kind of DTD. All right, from Donald Keith Brooks. I've been training for over a year now naturally, trying to eat the right foods and take the right supplements. In the beginning, I lost 16 pounds. Since I've gained 20 pounds. Wow. I'm looking to get on my first cycle of gear. What advice do you give someone who is looking to get on their first cycle of gear? Donald, I think you're stupid. And here's why. You can't even figure out how to diet and train. So you lost 16 pounds and gained 20 pounds. And now you want to get on gear. Now, you didn't say what kind of weight you gained. If you gained fat, you don't know how to diet and train well enough to be trusted with any kind of illegal steroids. Number two is that you have essentially, Preston, go bro. I'm busy. Preston, thank you. That's what happens when you work at home. Second, if that weight gain was muscle, you don't fucking need steroids. Another thing is, you have to look at the fact that you don't know where you're getting it from. It's a black market lab. You don't know the quality. I think it's a very dumb move. And judging by your profile picture, you have a kid, Donald. You have a child. You don't seem to have any way of compete. You don't seem to want to compete. You've been training for a year. You think you've really maximized your genetic potential for a year? I've been training 21 years and I'm still not near my genetic potential. So no, I think that's a fucking horrible idea. I'm not going to give you any advice because you don't deserve it. And my advice is keep training naturally and improve your diet, improve your training. Sorry, but people don't come to my Q&As for me to beat around the bush or be a fucking pansy. People come for the truth. If you want to go listen to a fake Q&A, go listen to one of those other guys on YouTube. From Jonathan Sosh. Hey man, I used to weigh nearly 300 pounds. Because of that, I have a lot of loose skin. Do you know any non-surgical ways to tighten it up? P.S. I've become a huge fan of MTS Nutrition, especially the fact you put in clinical dose of your ingredients and supplements. Thank you very much. No. There is no way to tighten your skin. You're going to have to get it locked off. You ever seen like My 600 Pound Life, any of those shows? If they could do it, they would. But if you have saggy excess skin and it's truly not fat, you got to get that shit cut off. From Thomas McDonald. Should I take a break from Ruckus and Vasky? I've been taking them every morning for 3 months. With Insurgent, I cycle Barracuda with them. I really don't want to take a break. I don't see it being beneficial if you're still getting the stimulatory effects. The only reason would be if you took a break for 4 to 5 days off of all stimulants, meaning caffeine and everything in general, yeah, okay, that makes a little bit of sense. But if you're still drinking coffee and stuff, you're not weaning yourself off caffeine. You're not going to defeat that tolerance. So if you're still feeling it, fuck yeah, take it, bro. Let's do one more. From Nick Wassick. Hey, Mark, I watch almost all your videos. I've been a fan for 3/4 of a year now. I know you always recommend Niagen, but recently I haven't seen you mention any of your videos. Are you still using it? And do you think it's worth it if you're on our budget? Yes, I am still using it. And yes, I think it's worth it. Let's stop there for now. And I will start with Jonathan Lawrence about Dallas McCarver's collapse at the Arnold Australia next one. That's not a game. So I'm looking at my email this morning. I get a mass email from one of the other sites that sell supplements that you're just a number to, right? They were bragging that one supplement line was free shipping. Bro, if you order over $99 in product in the continental US any day of the week, free shipping anywhere in the US, at continental USA, free shipping on orders over $99 at tigerfitness.com. Why even look at the other guys? And also we ship from Vegas and Ohio. Most places in the US are a 1 to 2 day ship, and that's not a game.